are in listen-only mode.
Hello and welcome to our Thought Leadership series of webinars. Digital Enterprise Future Calling for Software Testing Professionals. This is the Thought Leadership series by TenXLabs, which is a leading independent software testing company with many customers and 800 people working for it. I'm Sanju, your host for the morning. I have with me here Madhumurthy, who is the founder and president of TenXLabs, a passionate testing professional. That's the way Madhu likes himself to be addressed. Madhu is going to speak to us today about how the future is being rewritten by the digital enterprises and how software testing professionals are rewriting the course of both the companies and their own careers. What the future holds for testing enterprise and what the future holds for these software testing professionals. How they should be grooming themselves into the next era and how tools and technology are enabling digital enterprises to take the software testing to a different level. Not standing between you and Madhu, now I would love to welcome Madhumurthy to take the presentation forward. Please.
Thank you very much, Sanju, and good morning, everyone, and good evening, wherever you are. If you are from US, very good morning. If you are in India and Asia, very good evening. So thanks, Sanju, for the introduction, and I'll thank all of you for participating in this webinar, Digital Enterprise Future Calling for Software Professionals. As Sanju mentioned, at TenXLabs, we are driving a lot of innovation and trying to explore how, as digital enterprises get formed or the traditional enterprises run a lot of transformation projects around digitization, how the testing and quality management function transforms. That's where actually our interests lie. So we thought we'll share our points of view with all of you, especially the software testing professionals, the software testing managers of IT services companies, or if you are working in enterprise IT organizations. We thought it's worthwhile to share with you our thoughts about this aspect. So let me talk about the agenda. So as Sanju mentioned, we'll try to understand what is actually happening in the enterprise IT landscape, how these digital technologies, the social, mobile, analytics, cloud, and also the Internet of Things, how they are kind of sweeping the transformation in the enterprise IT space, and what kind of evolutions that are happening to the technology platform, and also those changes, how they will impact how we do quality management and testing. So we'll cover this agenda today, and actually feel free, all of you, to type in your questions in the chat box, so I'll be able to address. So feel free so that we can make it kind of interactive session. So let's first talk about what's happening in the enterprise, inside an enterprise, outside of the enterprise today. If you look at, let us ask a question about, if you look at 12 years ago, most of the investments in technology were typically done by the CIO organization, and only 20% of the overall technology spending was done by rest of the organizations. For example, the HR or marketing or sales, to improve their processes, to improve or give more power to their human resources to do their work better. So that was the scene. The overall IT spend, only 20% of the whole technology spend. The other departments were spending on technology, which was only 20%. So what do you think that will be by end of this decade? It is very interesting to observe the trend. Based on the trend, we can understand what is happening inside an enterprise to improve their processes. Where are they spending money? So my question is, are they spending the technology spend outside IT? Is it 40% or is it 60% or is it 75% or is it 90%? And the answer to that is actually 90% of the technology spend that was done outside of IT. Now it rose from 20% to 90%, or otherwise Gartner is saying that every budget is becoming an IT budget. And that is a real good news, because now every organization within an enterprise realizes that to improve their processes, to enable their workforce, technology is the mantra. And that is what is actually bringing the digital revolution within an enterprise. So that's what all the gurus are telling, that digital has become a new industrial revolution, and we need to pause and understand as an enterprise uh, staff, a lot of significant changes are happening. In fact, if you look at uh, early stages of industrial revolution, similar waves of change have happened, especially in the early stages of industrial revolution. The big factories were powered by steam engines, and then after steam engine was there for a few decades, electricity and electrification research on that and innovation happened, and electric motors have been invented. So at that time there is a technological shift happened, the way the factories are built, the factories are operated. But at the time of change, lot of factories which were powered by steam, they did not really feel that they should actually go for electrification, because they thought, first thing is that in a typical steam powered factory, there is a big steam engine, and through these pulleys and shafts, all the machines are operated, the power is transmitted, and that is how the factories have been designed, and they were able to produce whatever products they were producing. And when electrification happened, and there is another way of powering a factory, but most of the factory owners did not see the point, because whenever a technological change happens, the impact of the new technology will not be very apparent right away. And that is how, and also, if you look at it, if you are already running a very successful steam factory, by changing to an electric motor based power plant, you don't see any change, and it's very difficult to make that change. And initially, there was no significant improvement even by undergoing a change. But what happened is that the innovation in the electrification happened more rapidly. So typical the steam factories which were run using a kind of line drive kind of mode, now the electric motors have come, and they started reducing the size of the motor, and then slowly the big motors have been replaced by small motors. So the way factory was operated shifted from a line drive to a group drive. A group of machines are operated by a set of motors, and then actually the motor has finally shrunk to a size where a unit drive kind of factories have come. Each machine is powered by its own motor. So suddenly the factory designs and the efficiencies that electric factories can achieve has actually outrun the steam factories. And most of the people who were already running steam factories, who couldn't change, they had to kind of lose the business. And especially the people who started new factories after the electrification, they started bidding them. So almost similar thing is happening in our enterprise today. And what is really causing that kind of change is the nexus of forces. That's what we are calling the technological advancements that are happening in the field of mobility, the social computing, the cloud infrastructure, big data and analytics around that, and also coupled with all that Internet of Things is actually giving lot new possibilities for enterprises to enable their employees, connect with their partners, and provide very extraordinary customer experience. So this change is occurring as we speak today, and it's a very important change every enterprise is noticing today, and that is why in the earlier slide when I talked, most of the spending in an enterprise to improve the enterprise is happening in the technology, and we are in the middle of such a revolution. And why we are interested about this revolution is that this is going to change the way we look at quality management of the new IT and also the testing and test engineering aspects of the new IT. In fact, this whole new technological changes and the way enterprises are transforming their ITs to leverage these new technologies, a total new category in the quality assurance space is emerging now. That is, we are calling it as digital assurance services. So, as testing professionals, we must really eagerly look for that and how it is going to change the way we approach testing of this new set of applications. So again, let's look at these four technologies, what kind of changes they are bringing, and typically this digital technologies are being used to improve the customer experience, the end user experience, and also the operational process. So, how all these four digital technologies, analytics, mobile, social media, and the embedded devices are being used in the enterprise. If you look at it, the analytics are really around 72% customer experience business processes are being leveraged using analytics. So this is a very important thing to observe. So all these analytics, mobile, social media, and embedded devices, all these technologies are being leveraged by quite a lot of enterprises to improve their customer experience processes as well as the operational processes. So that is why the newer type of projects now CIOs are approaching. So those projects, we are calling them as digital transformation projects. So let us understand a little bit of what is the digital transformation and what are these projects. To define digital transformation, so use of these technologies, social, mobile, analytic, cloud, and Internet of Things kind of technologies, you use that to radically improve performance of or reach of an enterprise. So that is how we define. So let me kind of remove some of the myths that are related to our digital transformation and where it is being applied. So if you look at it, digital is primarily about customer experience. Yes or no? And the answer is it is no. Digital is okay, predominantly about customer experience, but a lot of enterprises are leveraging digital technologies to get efficiency, productivity, and employee leverage across many business processes. A lot of opportunities exist, and there are a lot of wonderful case studies how people are leveraging the employee engagement and how people are giving a lot of power of the enterprise to people who are on the field in front of their customers, in front of their partners. So there are whole new ways people are looking at these things. The next thing is that digital primarily matters only to technology or B2C companies. This is another myth. A lot of people tell that, oh, it's not for me because it appears like it is a B2C kind of activity. It is more digital marketing. It is more related to the end user experience. Yes, that is true, but a lot of opportunities exist in all industries with no exceptions. So manufacturing, retail, telecom, every sector, there are huge opportunities, and actually as we speak, a lot of new digital transformation projects are being done inside these enterprises. And the third one is digital transformation will happen despite of IT. So, okay, we are transforming the business process. We are delivering different kind of services. It's like e-commerce. So, what is the need for upgrading an IT, or what will happen to IT? It can even done even without improving the current IT that we are having inside the enterprise. Again, that is a myth. The reality is that in the era of digital transformation, the companies or the enterprises which have better or improved business IT relationships, those are the companies they will be able to really leverage and transform quickly. So IT is a very key enabler, but the IT, the marketing and the business have to work much more closely as enterprises are transforming to digital enterprises. So let us quickly look at, we are agreeing that as the more and more enterprises are leveraging technology, all the emerging technology, and giving a much better kind of experience of an enterprise to their partners, employees, and end users. So, what does it mean from a CIO or from a technology standpoint? So, again, let us think about this. So, in this era of SMAC, what is the role of a CIO? How the role of CIO is evolving? Do they have to work like engineers, the way operators work within an engine room, or should they work as a pioneer or work with variety of stakeholders and improve the way enterprise runs its business and enterprise evolves new business models? So the answer is, as we enter the next revolution of IT, a lot of industrial age business processes already enterprises have ERP systems, the supply chain management systems, CRM systems, and a decent integration of these systems and leveraging all the efficiencies that are coming out of these systems for an enterprise. A lot of good enterprises have already leveraged these so-called, we call them actually systems of record, to keep the information in a decent way and help the staff of the enterprise to connect with their customers, make better decisions. All that has been done. But also the e-commerce, that kind of internet era business processes, also a lot of e-commerce companies have leveraged. But today, as the smack era, where coupled with Internet of Things, the whole new range of uh, business processes are evolving. People were not able to think about what kind of new business processes we can put uh, for benefiting their end users and customers. So total new way of doing business is emerging. So that is why CIO's role, if they always look at them as only the people who are running the IT, it is not going to help, because the marketing, the various other parts of, that's why there is a whole new designations that are coming. People are calling it as chief digital officers, who are becoming very strategic for enterprises. And if you look at enterprise IT spend in the last few years, we have been observing that uh, earlier, whatever spend that's happening, improve IT. To cut costs within the enterprise, we are applying a new IT with the intention to cutting costs. But now there is a mindset shift that is taking place. We have to spend money to grow the business, to evolve new business models, to sell our services differently, to define new ways of services, to deliver in a total different way, to engage customers in total different way. So there is a mind shift change that is happening in the while spending money. They are not no longer looking IT spend to cut operational costs or to make something cheaper. They are thinking in a very much more strategic manner and spending to get into new sets of businesses, to evolve to new business models. So from a technology point of view, IT, CIO has to look at it. So far, last 2.5 decades, we have built a lot of systems, and those systems are categorized as systems of record, the ERP, SCM, CRM systems. And now with the internet, mobile, cloud, the systems that we are really building, they are categorized as systems of engagement. Why this is important for us to note from a theoretical manner, what are the previous systems and what are the emerging systems, the way we are going to do quality management, the way we are going to do test engineering is going to be different. That's why we have been testing the systems of record in one particular way. Now, it is not that systems of engagement are absolutely brand new systems. Systems of engagement leveraging the new emerging technologies, especially the mobile, cloud, analytics, and Internet of Things. We are leveraging the systems of record and giving a whole new kind of experience to the stakeholders of an enterprise. So the systems of record are going to be the backbone, but on top of these systems of record, a brand new business process are being built. More innovative companies are rapidly building. In fact, I went to the US recently, and I stayed in a hotel. It's not very expensive hotel, but it was when I used my mobile, as I entered the hotel, immediately I got a message, welcome message, and I was surprised that the hotel was suggesting me the nearby Indian restaurants where I can go and have my dinner. So I was very thrilled by the very fact that as soon as I entered, there is a nice invitation. And the next day I went to another hotel, which is a little bit more expensive hotel, but when I went there, no such thing happened. I was a little unhappy. So as consumers, once we are getting used to a better service and we are going to another organization which is not able to give the same kind of service, we are getting very demanding and we are getting very irritated. So the enterprises who want to be in business, they have to really think of how to create these new systems of engagement. Otherwise, they will lag behind. So that is very important for us as test professionals, that we know how to systematically structured way test systems of record. But now, how do we test the systems of engagement? So when I talk about systems of engagement, leveraging the backbone technologies, enterprises are building whole new range of applications. The applications are looking like enterprise Facebooks, the social computing. They are leveraging within an enterprise to ensure that employees are connecting very informally, and they want to, let's say in a big enterprise, somebody wants to know who in my organization knows about some energy, because I want to immediately talk, and who knows Chinese. So I can, we are talking about enterprise Facebook, enterprise YouTubes, enterprise search engines, enterprise app stores, enterprise Twitters. So the whole new way enterprises are looking at their apps today. So we will be testing these kind of applications for the enterprises, and all these new type of apps, they will be leveraging the systems of record that have been already built over the years. So we have to be ready, get ready for this kind of testing. So another important thing is that the IT architectures, they have become they have aged already, and to really quickly, swiftly build the or this consumerization of the current IT, if you want to make the current IT architecture is very unwieldy now. So today's platforms are aging very fast, and CIOs are investing, and again they have to do rapidly modernization of these architectures. As test engineers, as testing professionals, we must look at the architectural aspect of this, what kind of changes are happening. Because a lot of technology testing and the methodologies that we evolve for the digital assurance testing, we need to closely observe how the IT architectures are being modernized. Because on top of these IT architectures only, the new consumer systems of engagement will be created. So the traditional application development is dying, and you cannot build this new app kind of applications by expanding or extending the closed architecture. So right now, as digital transformation is taking place, more and more enterprise IT organizations are revamping and modernizing their platform. So a lot of scope is there to test these platform changes. These are more technical tests in nature. So there are a lot of huge opportunities that are happening as we speak today. So let us come to now a point where, okay, a lot of things are changing. The new projects are going to be more on digital and digital transformation. And as companies at TenXLabs, we are doing variety of mobile application testing, mobile platform testing. We are doing a lot of analytic platforms, benchmark studies. We are doing some amount of cloud-based testing independently. But now in a digital transformation project, all these technologies are leveraged to really enable what we call consumerization of the business process. So given that situation, how we have to look at the so-called new area, that is digital assurance, how it is going to evolve. Let us quickly look at it, and as questions come, we can take the questions as well. So the question now for us testing professionals is that how do we think software testing will evolve in this new digital transformation era? What kind of new organization models are needed? How test strategies have to be crafted? What kind of new skills testers must possess and get ready with? And also what new types of services may evolve? These are all very important questions that come to us as testing professionals. So if you look at it, one very important thing from a testing process point of view or a development process point of view, digital business models, they look for shorter time to market. Things have to happen extremely fast. Okay. So, and also digital product innovation. So we have been used to the traditional business processes of ERP, supply chain management, CRM, HRMS process. We as testers have already perfected these end-to-end business process. You go to any product, the same kind of flows we encounter and we can test. But the digital product innovation is actually bringing whole new range of advanced and very, very innovative business processes that are leveraging mobile, cloud, and in fact applications that are competing in the new business process. Consumerization of this business process is happening. All the competing applications on the cloud, they share information to provide a very good end-to-end experience to the end user. So we have to understand those aspects. It is going to be delivered very fast. So maybe agiles have to become super agile models if you participate either in developing this kind of projects, or you are in testing of this kind of projects, and also this digital product innovation, the whole concept of that, we have to really understand it. And most of the times in the digital, multi-channel and channel coherence amongst channels is becoming very, very important. My backbone systems of record can be leveraged by my end users by coming to through any channel, and they want the coherence between that. If they don't have, they get irritated. So as testing, maybe the multi-channel testing becomes very important, and maybe very efficient, effective, and automated multi-channel testing strategies will become very important in these times. And as we are going to work in this rapid product innovation, especially from the point of view of digital product innovation, so automation has to be shifted left. Very early in the life cycle, we have to aim for automation, and we have to work super agile. Now, again, the issue is that the new set of consumer IT business processes are built on top of the systems of record that have been already existing. So as we do that, the current systems of record will undergo changes. And while they are going changes, a new set of business processes will be built on top of that. We have to test that digital business process, and we have to also test the changes that are happening to the systems of record underneath. So maybe from the organizational point of view, within a IT enterprise IT or a IT services company providing digital assurance or testing services or running large scale TCOEs, may have to think about what we call two-speed testing organizations. Systems of record will be tested by an organization with one set of processes. While that is happening, the systems of engagement will be tested with another organization. So the whole new ways of organizing testing inside an enterprise has to be thought about, and maybe two speed testing organizations have to work in tandem and manage the quality of these systems. So the IT services companies and also the enterprise IT will have to think about that. And from the point of view of testing, test professionals will have to look at this whole things. We have to understand the new business models will evolve because of digital technologies, and the value propositions enterprises will give to their customers will change. So to test end to end, we need to encounter new ways, new business models, and also the performance of the digital channel is going to be extremely important. So performance testing will become very relevant. In fact, the data analytics platforms the technology companies are building, a lot of benchmark studies have to be done. Compare one particular analytic platform with another analytic platform, or the infrastructure that is needed for creating such platforms. The benchmark studies, they will become very critical, and a lot of innovation has to happen in the way we do those tests. And very importantly, the digital experience, the UX testing has to be done very seriously, and it has to be taken to a next higher level, because in all this, the consumer experience is extremely important. That is what will make or break a digital transformation project. That's why a very sophisticated UX testing is going to be important. And while all these are exciting, lot of ease of use and lot of facilities for the end user is happening, but then a lot of computing is happening on the cloud, lot of information sharing is happening on the cloud. So the very relevant issue is going to be security testing. Security testing within a simple network perimeter, it's okay. But when the applications are sharing information on cloud, competing applications are cooperating to provide a better service, security testing becomes a huge issue. Then, as I told you earlier, organizing testing is itself will have to be thought differently, and the new range of tools and platforms to automate the testing, to arrive at appropriate test strategies. Now, if you look at the digital transformation project, the traditional use case will go. In its place, people are talking about journeys. The digital journey will be mapped, and maybe those are the kind of inputs for arriving at a proper test approach and test strategy, and then creating a lot of test scenarios and linking back to and tracing back to journeys. And the whole things can be maybe automated to generate test scenarios. So a lot of new innovation that's going to happen in the tooling and platform. And from an individual test practitioner point of view, how you should look at it. If you are testing a system of like engagement, then you have to position yourself like a powerful consumer. In our home, as we do our own work for with whatever e-commerce or ordering something with banks, we are as a consumer, we are really leveraging the technology. So when you come and test the software created by your organization, so the question you have to always put in your mind as a test professional, how can it be I am so powerful as a consumer and so lame as a tester? In other words, behave like a very powerful consumer as you start testing these systems of engagement. So that is how you have to orient yourself as a testing practitioner. So in conclusion, for test managers and the senior people in the testing, in future we will be asked to craft suitable digital assurance strategies. So we have to get ready for that. We have to understand the consumerization of IT enterprise and the business process and the digital product innovation that is taking place and all the technologies involved in that, the platform and architectural modernization that is happening to enable this. We have to understand all these issues and build intelligent digital assurance strategies, and we have to think about building a suitable two-speed test organizations so that whatever traditional IT is tested the way it is tested, and the new IT that is going to happen is also tested a little differently, and both organizations work together to give results. And very important, as testing practitioners, we have to start interacting with a lot of other stakeholders that we have not been interacting, because in the consumer IT initiatives, the marketing people will become very important. So the new type of stakeholders we have to interact if we want to test well. So in conclusion, the digital revolution has begun. Enterprise IT is reshaping itself to face this challenge. More and more budgets are allocated to modernize the IT and build these consumer IT business processes, and that is going to evolve or come up with new set of services that will be categorized as digital assurance services. And as testing practitioners, we will be pulled into these projects soon, so let's get ready. So that is what I wanted to talk about this. And any questions that let us look at the chat and maybe figure out, we may answer few questions.
Thank you, Madhu. That was very interesting. Especially the fact that while automation is going to help us, there's only so much that automation can do. So that's the first question actually has come in from that, which the question they are asking, he's asking me on the chat is that, what do you think is the level that automation can be taken in an organization as far as testing goes?
Okay, is it related to the digital transformation project?
Exactly, it's to the digital transformation projects, because there is a limit to what automation can do. And do you actually think there is that limit? What would you suggest as a limit to automation, Madhu? That's the question.
Yeah, see, automation is important, especially in any project, even typical systems of record, wherever we can automate, especially the regression testing, wherever we have to repeat again and again testing. And also, as we are in the agile world, to rapidly test and every day to test, so automation is important. Now, in a digital transformation kind of situations, the speed is extremely important.
Okay.
That is where actually, if you don't act with speed, your customers will come and move fast. So that is why these projects will have very short life cycles. So whenever we have to do a lot in short time, we have to really rely on automation. That's why, though already in Agile we are talking about automation has to be shifted left as early as possible in the testing life cycle, development life cycle, we should start automating. That will increase as we deal with digital transformation projects. So, but then the process, the ability of a tool to do that, all these are going to be issues. And as I told you, mostly people will come up with now the real input for a digital transformation project is the journeys and the maps of journeys. Now these are the inputs from where the IT change will happen. And we have to, as test people, we have to take those journey maps and use those journey maps to maybe automatically generate the end-to-end scenarios, and then using some of the traditional tools automate the execution process. I think that will be very interesting, because especially the shorter life cycles
is the most important thing in this digital transformation.
Yes. Yeah.
I have a question here, Madhu, and that's from Mr. Rao, that he says we want to move away from QTP to an open source tool such as Selenium. Can TenXLab help us in our initiative? So this is a question which is very interesting. Maybe maybe something that we should probably get in touch with Mr. Rao later. But that said, would you like to throw some light on the fact, while they are trying to move away from QTP and move into Selenium, how can actually TenXLab help in that transformation or process?
Yeah. So this is an interesting issue, because a lot of companies have made significant investments on a tool like QTP and built large scale assets. Now, I know whenever the license renewal comes, it's tough to sign the check at the time we start thinking about. Now, actually, there are solutions available. In fact, at TenXLabs, we do have a solution that doesn't kind of automatically convert a QTP asset 100% into a Selenium. It's not it doesn't happen, but we have come up with a mechanism where close to 60 to 65%, most of the QTP functions, if it is written in a particular framework, they can be automatically converted into a C# code that can run in a Selenium environment. Or that's what we have already done, and we ran few pilots. If Mr. Rao is interested, we can talk to him. Yeah.
Thanks. We have quite a few questions. In fact, we probably would not have time to take all of them, but we would make sure that we answer them on a mail.
Okay.
We have about 12, 13 questions coming in, but let me try and see if I can plug in a couple of more here, Madhu, keeping the time in mind. So, this is a great presentation. Since a lot of technologies are involved here, can you please also explain what we need to take in terms of security, like data security, avoiding hacking, as some apps are more prone to hacking, like the recent Android app issue. So, this is a question which probably needs a little more explanation, and
but actually, as I told during my presentation, if at all something can hinder the rapidness of the digital transformation that is taking place in the enterprise IT, one issue that can really stop is the security issue. Unless we are very, very, so again, security testing of this kind of business process is going to throw a lot of different challenges, because uh, the kind of data sharing that is happening in this various applications, as people are providing this end-to-end end user experience. There are total new methodologies of security testing and a set of to simulate some of the hacking situations. A set of new tools are going to emerge.
Okay. I think we have just time for one last question, and that is to do with more from the testing professionals' perspective. So, okay. So what the person is saying is here that we have testers have always been treated like the poor cousin of developers. So we see that with the digital enterprise coming on, do you see this actually changing, where testers are also treated like like the developers, or are treated as important as developers as digital transformation happens in digital enterprises and testers start testing for digital enterprises model? This is a very interesting question. I leave it to you.
Yeah. So if you look at in a traditional development and testing, whatever we're telling testers are being treated as cousins, is actually was 10 years story.
Okay.
But Agile has changed that a lot. In a true Agile project, a developer who cannot test is as bad as a tester who cannot understand development. So in an Agile project, you have to work or have a mindset. If you are a tester and you are in a Agile environment, you have to think like you are the co-maker of the product.
Okay.
You cannot think that developers will make and I will do testing. That mentality is with that to succeed in an Agile environment is very rare. So even in the digital transformation kind of projects, yes, domain is still going to be very important, because you have to deal with a whole new range of domain issues which we have not encountered yet. So that again, that knowledge is critical for the people who participate in development of these transformation projects, as well as the people who involved in quality assurance of this transformation project. So the absolute that is important. But even the technology platform, the way it's evolving, the modernization is happening without understanding those aspects, especially the technical issues involved with cloud, technical issues involved with mobile app, technical issues involved with analytics. It gets very, very hard for test engineers to test. So test engineers have to think like co-makers of software rather than they are kind of outside of this. Yeah.
Very interesting. I think that's all the time that we had for this morning. Thank you so much, Madhu, for coming and participating and actually leading this webinar and trying to explain to us the digital transformation and how testers are going to benefit and how we need to be prepared as testing professionals to make the best out of this digital transformation wave. Thank you all for coming on this webinar. This is a series by 10XLabs, a thought leadership series by 10XLabs, a leading independent software testing provider. And this is going to be a monthly recurring webinar, and we hope to see you in our next edition shortly next month. Till then, bye. Thank you. Thank you.